I'm Christopher Titus, and this is a Rabba Ding Dong. They're all the same. I keep hearing that about the Democrats and Republicans. And this week, it was proven to be true. This is Senator Bob Menendez. And this is the indictment and the raid on his house. Bob is from New Jersey and the head of the Foreign Affairs Committee. And let's dig into his affairs for a moment. Menendez's job was the head of the committee who would recommend military weapon sales, military financing, and other aid and support to the government of Egypt. And the grand jury charged Senator Menendez and his wife, who engaged in a corrupt relationship with Wael Hana, Jose Uribe, and Fred Diabetes. I'm sure I got that wrong. 3 New Jersey businessmen who paid hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes, including cash, gold, and a Mercedes-Benz, and other things of value, in exchange for Senator Menendez agreeing to use his power and influence to protect and enrich those same businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt. You know, so the guy that works for us in America was helping Egypt. Cool. So we have a high-ranking Democrat indicted on corruption charges, him, his wife, and 3 others. Now, when I first heard it, I thought, this is outrageous. And then I learned he was from New Jersey. And then I thought, only $600,000? My God, he even sucks at corruption.
There's the fucking money. You know how much lawyers cost? And I don't want to hear about the fucking economy either.
So to my Republican countrymen, look, I know you're having a moment right now. See, the Democrat did it too. And you're right. But here's the difference. Democrats are demanding he resign. They're going full out to get this tiny, corrupt little Hummel the hell out of our government. He's had numerous senators of his own party telling him he has to resign. And he should, because selling out your country to a foreign government is something that needs to be handled. And Senator Menendez needs to be in jail. Democrats agree. Criminals need to go to prison. Republicans, on the other hand, believe that the biggest criminal in American history who cheated on his taxes, cheated people on a fake college, lied 32,000 times while president, and then tried to overthrow the United States and end democracy, who also stole top secret documents and tried to hide them against the fucking Presidential Record Act, which he keeps claiming protects him. Well, that criminal, the Republicans want that guy to be president again. They want to stop the 4 indictments, which are for tax fraud, sedition, espionage, and excessive fake tanning. That's the difference. When Democrats have a criminal in their ranks, they cut him loose. They get rid of him. When the Republicans have a criminal in their ranks, a guy who planned an insurrection, committed 91 felonies, and tried to destroy the United States of America, they want to give him another shot to end America. That's the tiny difference. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Yeah, do you see the difference? We see a criminal like, holy shit, that guy's a criminal. Let's get rid of him. Why? Because he makes the rest of us look criminal. The Republicans like, yeah, that guy's a criminal. How can I also be a criminal? Because that guy's doing it. Now I'm going to do it. Give me Matt Gates and a teenager. Hello, everybody. Christopher Titus. Titus Podcast, Armageddon Update. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
Hi, this is, so I can't believe it that the Republicans have finally got a dude. They got a dude, Menendez.
That isn't Hunter Biden.
Yeah, exactly. We got another one. And he's a Cuban, so he's a minority on top. Oh, they're so happy. But here's the thing. That's what I wrote the Armageddon Update about, because I was kind of like, here's the difference between me and I think the Republicans. And people say I'm a liberal, but I'm an actualist. Right and wrong, that's it. Mm-hmm. When I heard that this guy had done this, and then they showed pictures, they're showing pictures of literally, he put all the money in his jacket, like hundreds of thousands of dollars in his jackets in his closet.
Like a 1930s criminal. With
and gold bars.
Gold bars.
And gold bars. It's like, what are you, a pirate?
Yeah, seriously. Where do you get these? Bullion?
Because I guess they would track it on bank accounts or whatever, but he could have set up, it just seems like he's even a dumb, that's what I'm saying. And being from New Jersey, I was like, oh, of course. And I'm like, wait, $600,000? Come on, if you're going to be
today's dollars,
if you're going to be in corruption in New Jersey, you got to be better. Even the mobsters in Jersey are like, come on, this guy sucks. He got no D.
He said that he was keeping his savings, and that's how he keeps his savings.
Because his family is from Cuba, and they had the government come in and raid their house. So he hid it in his house. So when the FBI came in to raid his house, they found it instantly. So he didn't really plan this through. Maybe. So it's genetic. So stupidity is genetic.
What?
So his dad, by the way, we just got off the road yesterday. We've been going like a bat out of hell, and we have to leave in a few hours on another plane to do more shows. We're going to be in Dallas and Houston this weekend. Please go see the shows.
And New Orleans and Lafayette.
Yeah. We're going to, so we'll get this out early enough to get that out there. But I just want you to know that that this guy, so his dad hid their money in Cuba because the government raided him, and then he got raided and didn't hide the money very well.
Look, honestly, I feel a little bit better.
I'm telling you.
Look, we got one.
It's what's going to do. We're going to put it in my jacket. No one's going to ever look in my jacket. Oh, that's Nils. That was Nils Lofgren. That was,
wow,
no.
I just wanted to make sure he's not listening.
That's interesting. Just got a phone call from the lead guitarist for the Eastview band. I wonder what I did.
Uh-oh.
Maybe you sent him another song.
I did that once. I did it once. And I've heard the song. And as I've lived with the song, I've gone, it's not too bad for a comedian.
It played in a theater, I think Milwaukee, right?
It started to play in a theater.
Until you jumped out of your seat at full speed, and because it was on an iPod. Remember those? So
I put this song that I did a version of Atlantic City that I recorded in my studio. Really cool. It rocks really hard. I like it, but it's still me. It's not great. It's still me.
A lot of reverb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of reverb.
All these Nils Lofgren's comments.
No,
it's good for a comedian. A lot of reverb.
No, Nils Lofgren was very nice about it when I sent it to him. And then after I said, I hung up the phone, I said, he's nice. And I had this chill like, yeah, I sent Nils Lofgren, one of the best guitarists on the planet Earth, a song that I did. What do you think, Nils? So I'm an idiot.
And if he was nice about it.
He was very nice about it. So here's what happened. So we're backstage. We're getting ready for the show. Big show. It was a good one. And we have a playlist that I'll give to the sound guy sometimes. And it plays Prince and it plays stuff that we like to get the audience pumped up for. And for some reason, due to my horribly huge ego, this song ended up on the playlist. And I hear boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, no! And I just...
The beginning of it is...
And now...
Because you do the reverb. He loves reverb. He's a big fan of reverb.
Yeah. Because I rock.
In a cave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, by myself. And I should never let anybody else hear it.
Reverb is like blurring from music.
I've actually started playing guitar a little bit. I try to like 4 or 5 times a week just so I get better at it. It's getting better. The dogs don't think so.
I'm going to put reverb. Just keep saying that. And I'm going to put a bunch of reverb on it. It's getting better.
So the funny thing is that, so Menendez says that he kept that the $600,000 they found was his savings from his, which is, by the way, I'm going to run for Congress now. It was his savings over the years in Congress. And here's the weird thing about this guy. This guy's been indicted before. He's already He's already been indicted once before.
For gold? For another gold scam?
He beat it because it was a hung jury. And so he got away with it. So the Democrats, again, I'm going to call the Democrats out, put the guy who's fucking indicted back as the head of the Foreign Relations Committee. He's been indicted. If he's going to stay, he's not convicted, fine. If he's going to stay, fine. But don't give him a big ass job where, because he's already been indicted.
Yeah.
Basically, you told him, hey, you got away with it. Do it again.
Let's make you the head of it now.
Yeah. So the Democrats did something very stupid. Now they want them all gone. Even his buddy Cory Booker.
Booker just put out a statement.
What did he say?
He apparently works very closely with him. So they said it's a big deal.
He
said, the details of the allegations against Senator Menendez are of such a nature that the faith and trust of New Jerseyans, as well as those he must work with in order to be effective, have been shaken to the core. Stepping down is not an admission of guilt, but an acknowledgement that holding public office demands tremendous sacrifices at great personal cost.
So that's from a Democrat. Now, remember that same statement from Jim Jordan?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the same statement from Lindsey Graham?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we have him on the phone going, I need to find 11,780 votes. So that's what was my point about the Armageddon update is that, like, yeah, sure, people are human beings are human beings. Some will be criminals.
Yeah, but we only have how many? You can count them on one hand.
Well, that's the whole thing. So I looked it up. So I guess over there's 15. USA wrote an article about 15 other senators that had been indicted. And it goes back to like 1896, even further.
Yep.
And of the 15, there are 12 Republicans and 2 Democrats. And one of them was 1896. So we got 1896 and this guy.
So in 1896, he was a Republican, right?
Oh, I didn't even think about it. No, because that switched after the Civil War.
Right. But it wasn't like today we're all this. It was like gradual.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The whole ideology switched. I don't understand it. I guess evolution. But so we got now. Now we've got 13 or 14 already. Democrats have said, get out. You're done. And they even went after Al Franken. Al Franken had a joke photo.
Yeah.
And he got in trouble for it.
But this is Democrats, right? They'll call on him to resign because they know it's the right thing to do, but also they're probably thinking, let's set an example for what the Republicans should be doing, except it's not going to work. They're just going to go, yeah, you're right. We should get rid of him and completely ignore everything about Donald Trump.
Yeah, the Republicans don't have that kind of insight. Yeah, exactly.
No, they promote them. If they're criminals, they get promoted.
But the Democrats, I have to be honest, great at governing, shitty at promo.
Yes.
God, are they shitty at promo. So I'm looking at, and can I please talk to everyone in the media, Stephanie Rule, all these people who keep talking about fucking poll numbers. The poll numbers have been wrong for the last 5 elections every single time. And they keep saying Biden's polls are low. Well, tell me about what he did, though. Tell me about it. And so they started saying today, Andrea Mitchell started talking about on the phone today, on the TV today. She's going, it's weird because he's done so much. If you look at the economic numbers, we have the lowest unemployment in the history of America. We've added 12 million jobs. We've got infrastructure projects going all over the country. Got Republicans who voted against the infrastructure bill are claiming it in their towns now that people are working and rebuilding bridges. We have the CHIPS Act. Infrastructure. We've got over 1.2 million manufacturing jobs brought. Biden is going to march with the UAW today. And they go, why is the poll number slow? Because you fuckers keep talking about it.
Well, two things.
You keep talking about the poll numbers. It has nothing to do with the poll numbers. What did the man do?
It seems like there's 2 things going on. So Biden is not promoting or even mentioning his successes. Yeah, he should be fucking saying it wherever he is.
In the last couple of weeks, he's started yelling a lot as he gives his rallies. I think they told him, little energy pops. Let's go. So he's like, I did all of this. The other day we were in the hotel room and he goes, damn, I got to turn it down. It was a little.
Because for a long, he's been, I'm the president, I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But that's his style, though. He just keeps going. Now, you remember Trump had a press conference every day.
Yeah.
Every day he needed to be in front of the TV. Every fucking day.
The other thing is the second part.
Maybe we could inject some bleach, do a cleaning, like some disinfectant of some sort.
That's all he did. That's all he did was get in front of a camera and talk.
Himself.
Right. Yeah, just himself.
Not his people.
And now he's still doing it through his fucking whatever it is.
And
Truth
they're
X,
still
whatever.
Promoting it and showing his rallies. So he's indicted. He has 91 indictments against him. And the news is just showing him every day, all day, as though he's a viable candidate.
Right. They've actually it's almost like they're endorsing him as being a viable candidate. The man is the biggest criminal, 93 indictments, I think now, the biggest criminal we've had in the history of America. He tried to end democracy. He tried to get the vice president fucking killed. Well, and they're like, well, what are the poll numbers showing? Well, Biden and Trump about the same.
But you mentioned this before. I think we've all talked about it, is that, okay, you can't really trust the polls. And first of all, the polls, who's answering the phone call? But they're is old MAGA people.
Right. Because they don't call cell phones. Because everyone has a cell phone.
Who has landlines?
It's landlines. It's people in landlines. It's like, hello? Yeah. Is this my daughter? No. Oh, she never calls. What do you think of the presidential rate? I like that Trump guy. He is fancy.
Straight shooter.
He's straight shooter, and he got a lot of hotels. Very rich man. Very rich man.
Gallup polls include cell phones.
How many?
They've been including
Blackberries.
cell phone only households in all national telephone Gallup polls since January 2008. Further, cell phone only households are now as likely to fall into National Gallup poll samples as those living in traditional landline households.
And that's what I love and hate about Ray. She totally blows me out of the water every time I say, okay, all right.
But so who's answering their phone with?
But what's the Gallup? Yeah, I turned it off. If I don't recognize the number, off. But ask me, what's the Gallup poll saying about Biden right now? Can you look at Gallup polls, Biden?
This is particularly important given studies that show that people in cell phone only households tend to be younger, are more likely to be racial and ethnic minorities, and more likely to be transient. Okay.
Transient?
I don't know.
So what does that mean? And gypsies?
I mean, I know California, that's an odd generalization about a smaller percentage of people, but California homeless people can have a cell phone for free.
Great. So now we got the other thing going on. Now we've got them calling homeless people.
They're mispronouncing some other word. Did you say the dump? Yeah. He said Trump. Put him down for Trump. I'm at the dump.
What do you want to know?
What's a recent Gallup poll saying? If they're actually doing it. But I think it comes right down to the Democrats are really shitty at promo. They're really shitty at it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of things done. Like,
yeah, they're working.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're
like,
not.
When was the last time I bragged to you about something that I did? I'm fucking busy as shit.
Yeah, no, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I never call you. Hey, I'm in the middle of the Armageddon update. It's awesome.
Isn't it great?
I'm writing it.
Did you see this joke and this joke?
Hey, hold on, guys. I gotta stop the show for a second. Hey, Ken, I'm killing. I'm killing in Texas right now.
Like 4 days later, we're like, that was good, right? All right, keep going.
Yeah, we go. Oh, the views are what? Oh, okay, I gotta watch that again. I didn't even see it. Yeah, we're just pounding shit out. And so
then PBS did a story on it, and they said that they decided to write this opinion piece because they had a listener write in who said he was a consultant and had a doctorate in education. He was furious. Said because it was a brutal poll number for a Joe Biden headline. He said that a survey of 1,264 adults that were willing to answer a random phone call in 2022 became a national headline propagated as a conclusive representation of the sentiments of the entire American population.
Right.
Yep.
Because how many of us, when our cell phone says spam
or Titus,
unknown number,
or unknown, I am never answering call. Click, denied.
We're doing the Armageddon update. Okay, we can't. We're freaking writing shit. We're on a plane.
So, and I guess because my grandma did, she would answer all of them just in case.
Right. Yeah. So it's usually people with nothing to do sitting there watching Hallmark movies. Yeah. Even on their cell phones. She had a lot
to do. I think she just thought maybe she won Publishers Clearinghouse. You don't know. There could be someone on the porch with a giant check. Mm-hmm. I have to take this. I'll be right back.
By the way, Steve Harvey's on the front porch. Are you kidding?
Is that who it is now?
Where is the... I thought you were going to go into a Steve Harvey.
So, polling expert David Hill, who's president of Hill Research Consultants, said there's a dirty little secret that we pollsters need to own up to. People don't talk to us anymore, and it's making polling much less reliable.
No shit.
What year was this said?
2022.
The last 4 elections have been off the charts different. They thought Trump was 2 points from Biden, or 1.5 points. It was ended up being like 3 or 4 points anyway. Trump lost by 7 million votes.
It does get him to spin his wheels, though.
But here's the thing. Here's what pisses me off the most. And Ray and I have been screaming about this. These news channels are supposed to be giving us facts, not fucking opinions. And polls are just fucking opinions. And by the way, if it was the other way, I mean, how do you have a guy who tried to end the country and he's polling the same as the guy who's rebuilding it?
Right. The fact that his name is even on the fucking questionnaire.
Yeah.
How the fuck?
Exactly.
The expert guy Hill's polling said that people who tend to pick up any phone calls are older, conservative, less wealthy, and less educated. So,
I was right.
Ding,
still,
ding, ding,
I was
ding.
still right because everybody has a cell phone now. I'm still right.
Yes.
So We've got old conservatives picking up the phone. They're only sampling 1,200 people in a country of 330 million.
Wait. That's the number of that's the total number?
1274. Okay. They're making a percentage call on a national news program in front of millions of people on 1,200. So again, I'll say Stephanie Rule. You know who never does it? Who never does it? Rachel Maddow. Rachel never brings up poll numbers, ever. Steve Kornacki, on the other hand, will come up and do it all day long. Well, Kornacki, maybe you should actually talk about this. Maybe we need to do something about polling. I think my next Armageddon update is going to be about polling, because this is bullshit. I mean, you can't just sit there and go, well, Biden, they're saying Biden's old. Yeah, Trump's a year and a half younger than him.
So why are we covering that?
Oh, and Trump yesterday said, this is awesome. He goes, when I ran against,
Obama.
He said Bush yesterday. He said Bush yesterday.
Oh, well, he did try.
I know, but he goes, but Bush started the war. He started the war in Iraq. And I'm like, because I thought, okay, Jeb Bush. And he goes, but Bush started that war in Iraq. And it took us a while to get out of that. And I was like, wait.
Yeah, but he tried to run a bunch of times before as a Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Who, Trump?
Yeah, we just don't remember it because we didn't count it as real.
He was claiming before he got elected into office, that he was running against Bush, and Bush had started the war in Iraq. And then he said Jeb. He goes, remember he took the name Bush out and he put the word Jeb? You could see him get it. You could see it. He needs an earpiece now. I'll bet you he has an earpiece now, because he's saying some shit. He said he ran against Obama, and that Obama, what was the thing he said about Obama?
He said Obama this past week.
Yes, he said Obama. And
he meant Biden.
And then he said Bush. He goes, but Bush started the war in Iraq. And I'm like, how do you fucking say that Biden, who's going to march with the UAW today, who's basically, I just watched him do a speech and people are asking questions.
This is my favorite. I just was searching this headline because I forgot about this. George Bush Sr. calls Trump a blowhard and voted for Clinton.
The staunchiest of staunch Republicans.
Yeah, literally.
CIA
and
guy.
The head of the CIA, yeah. And he's like, fuck this guy.
And Donald Trump was the only American president in history to have no political or military service.
And today, okay, I was going to talk about this because I want. Thank you for reminding me of this, because I was listening to this on the radio and whatever. Trump came out 2 days ago and said that General Milley, who's retiring, that in the past, if anyone had done what Milley did to Trump, the sentence would be death, all caps, death. General Milley, 4-star general, who everybody pretty much across the board has respect for, said that he should die, and Trump avoided the draft 5 times. This guy's a 4-star.
My stepfather, the colonel, worked with General Milley before he was a general and after, I think. And he said that personally, he didn't like working with him, but he was one of the most honorable and country-driven and dedicated servicemen he'd ever known.
That's what they said on.
I think probably they were both like butting heads a little bit.
Yeah, you get in the military, you get in the upper ranks, you get a bunch of alphas against each other.
So here, this is what you're talking about. I didn't know this, and also I'm still asleep.
And we get to get on a plane.
I know feels so well today.
We only have 4 shows to do.
We were in 5 cities in 5 days last week, and some of them were they were all hundreds of miles apart.
This one's worse, this next one.
And then we did 2 shows because they added a 4:30 and a 7 in Lexington on Sunday. We went back, slept 2 hours, and then got on a plane. We were sitting on a plane at 5:15 a.m.
yesterday.
Then we flew all the way home from the East Coast.
Got here at 10
Say
o'clock.
it again.
Yesterday.
And then you're going to go pick it.
Today we have to be back in New Orleans. Today.
And then you're striking with the General.
Yeah, she's actually
General Motors.
She just marches in front of the house with a sign. I'm not doing this anymore.
Randomly bursting into tears.
What's going on in front of the Titus house?
Exhausted.
I don't know. She just walks around with the sign. It's one person and 2 Yorkies. The Yorkies have signs taped to them.
Okay. So Donald Trump once again mixed up candidates he ran against this week. Why isn't this a bigger news story?
That's what I don't get.
This time he conflated Jeb Bush with George W. Trump actually ran, this was the story. Trump actually run against George W. The Morning Joe crew said Trump would have been gutted in no time at all. Probably true. During a speech in South Carolina on Monday of this week, Trump told his followers that he said in 2016, everyone thought Bush was going to win. this is a direct quote. Everyone thought Bush was going to win because he supposedly was a military person. Then he went on to mock his military leadership. Here's another quote about 2016. He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? But they all thought that Bush might win. Long pause. Jeb. Remember Jeb? And we're not talking about this. I had to dig for this.
You want to talk about cognitive decline?
Good God.
Well, but he can just make shit up. He's a known liar. He could just almost make a reality in his own mind.
But 2016, we did not get into a war.
No.
Well, I mean, we've always
been there. We just got out like 3 days ago.
It wasn't the war, the new one, the big one.
No, that happened in 2001 and 2.
Then 2016, he did not run against the person that got us into the war.
No.
Then he said he was supposedly a military person.
He's a military person.
Whatever that means. Exactly.
He's a military.
Then he made fun of his military leadership, of which he has none. Then he says in 2016, he got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? You know, because when Trump himself was the one in Doha that signed the agreement that we had to pull up. But okay.
Yeah. With the Taliban. He made a deal with the Taliban.
Then he says they all thought, I have to just go break this whole thing. And then they, whomever they may be, all thought that Bush might win. Jeb. Remember Jeb?
Meanwhile, his base is just like, yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's all it takes.
Look this up. There was a study done on Democrats and Republicans, and they said that that Republicans the base overwhelmingly is uneducated by like more than half. They're uneducated. They're less income. They are less schooled. And I read it and I was like, of course, but the problem is that when you're dumb, you'll believe something and continue to go down that road, and they keep going down the road, you know. And can I say this again? I think I said this last week. You don't get to pick what my kids fucking read. You don't get to fucking change the library. You know what you should do? Parent. You should actually get your kids. What are you reading? Let me see it. You can't read this for 2 more years. But don't fucking pass legislation on my kids. My kids can read what they want.
That tilt Republican, according to Pew Research.
Not a poll.
Not always the
This is actually research.
This is research.
This is actually someone sat down and I could...
Before we go to that, this episode brought to you by Harry's. Just because we love Harry's. So I was like, let's create a little momentum.
When are we getting the Harry's ad again? And I just want you to know, I didn't shave today because I shaved because here's how good Harry's razors are. We did 4 days yesterday. I shaved right before we left.
We did 4 days yesterday.
Sorry. Fuck. I'm so tired.
And Jeb, what about Jeb?
You guys remember Jeb?
Yesterday.
Who also did 4 days. Jeb did in the Middle East. I shaved
4 day.
I shaved before we left.
Nights of shows.
4 nights of shows. I shaved before I left, and then now this is it. It's taken 4 or 5 days to get back to this.
This is with the new craft handle. It's Harry's new innovative design.
With the bumps.
It's the same awesome shave blades, but
5.
the handle is super sweet. It's got it's ergonomic. It's got the little bumps on it. That's what I wanted. So that you can hang on to it better. Still has German engineered blades. Sleekest razor yet. I love this one. I use mine every day. I have one in my travel kit. I have one in the shower, and I have a backup in my bottom drawer, and that's not a euphemism. We also
this time you said it,
and your present bottom door. Yeah, we are like, we're not doing it again. We get yelled at every time. Oh, you do it. Okay.
They say it's got meticulously fine-tuned contours, weighty, well-balanced in the hand.
Not a euphemism.
You can try their sleekest new handle yet. You can get the entire starter set for just $10. It includes the craft handle, the 5-blade German engineered razor cartridge, the shaving gel, and the travel cover, which I also use every week. You can also schedule your replacement blade delivery to come to the house, and your refills are as low as $2. That's what I do because I forget. And then when they come, it's like Christmas.
It is like Christmas, and you're not going to the freaking pharmacy or whatever and having them unlock the razors.
True that.
Which is awesome.
You don't have to leave your house, which I would love. They also have things you guys know that we use. They have shaving cream, post-shave balm, body wash, lotions, hair paste, hairspray,
Best
gel.
hair paste.
I mean,
Best hair paste.
We have all of it. Shampoo. Yep. You use the 2-in-1 shampoo.
Body wash.
You have several flavors of the body wash in the shower. My favorite is redwood.
I like the new citrus minty thing. It's awesome.
They have soap. I'm just like,
guys,
their products are so affordable. You made me order you the body lotion a couple weeks ago. It's a massive tube. And
don't tell people that.
This is going to be expensive. It was, I think it was like $7 for this. Anyway, and it's some of the best quality.
A tube they use to like grease a bridge. It's literally
it's like industrial size.
It's massive.
So elevate your shave with the latest and greatest in Harry's razor handle lineup today. Get your $17 craft handle starter set for just $10 at harrys.com/bombshell. That's harrys.com/BOMBSHELL.
You got the code. You get the code.
Groups that tilt Republican. Mormons, white evangelical Protestants, of course, white Southerners, white men with some college or none, white.
So just white men. Some college or none.
No, wait.
So that's just
Those
white
were
men.
4 different white evangelical Protestant, white Southerners, white men, college or less, white. Silent generation, ages 69 to 86.
White.
Groups that tilt Democrat, Black, Asian, religiously unaffiliated, postgraduate, women, Jewish, Hispanic, and the millennials. 18
and
to
white.
33.
We're white.
Very white.
Yeah. I'm the whites. They actually use me as a poster for
You
white.
are the capital white. Yes.
So I would like the news, everybody. Andrea Mitchell, Stephanie Rule, Ari Melber. Stop fucking talking about polls when you know damn well it's a sample. It's a random sample of old people who picked up their phones because no one talks to them anyway, and they haven't seen their kids in 3 months. And then, I like them. I think it's great. And they're watching Fox News. The polls are going to be so. The good news is this. I think when the polls show stuff like that, I think people get amped up. I think people on the left are like, okay, we're voting. We're making sure we vote.
Democrats lead by 22 points, 57 to 35% in leaned party identification among adults with postgraduate degrees.
Right.
So this is what you were saying. It gets a little bit narrower among those with college degrees or some postgrad experience, which is still 49%. Those with less education, 47%. Across all educational categories, women are more likely than men to affiliate Democratic or lean Democratic. So the Democrats' advantage is 35 points, 64% to 29 among women with postgraduate degrees, but only 8 points among postgrad men, which means women are smarter.
And they're getting their vaginas messed with by the Republicans.
Yeah.
And women, women, that is the holy grail.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't mess with a woman's vagina. She's like, you're going to mess with my vagina legislatively?
Uh-huh.
Nope. It's hard enough to do it with it's not legislatively.
He's so stupid.
I sound really smart, and then I just go to a 4-year-old.
That's sort of your thing. Really smart, briefly, and then
Christopher Titus, really smart, briefly.
Millennials tend to be, they're 51% as Democrat, compared with 35% who identify with or lean more Republican.
I think that's high too. That's interesting. I thought that was kind of.
What about the other 15%?
Independents.
They're passed out.
They're just
from the night
drunk. They're
from the kegger.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Are we voting?
That was also the age where I did keg stands. So,
millennials, though, what year is that? Millennials would be 2000, right?
18 to 33.
18 to 33.
Interesting that then the majority of what they call the silent generation, which are, I forget what that age was.
Elderly,
that was
69 to 87.
69 to 86 tend to be Republican.
Yeah.
But that's why I said a while back, and then I had a family member call me, that I think that Republicans stir fear. And older people are more susceptible to that because I know that with grandma or some of our other family members who are older and identify Republican, a lot of the things they say are fear-based.
Nothing to do with policy. It's all, we got told by one of our relatives that, the Democrats, they're drinking baby's blood. We had said that out loud to us. Obama is a Kenyan. What's the other thing it said? These gay people are just raping kids. And I'm like, what are you even talking about?
Or they just have a blanket statement that says they're ruining the country.
They're not. Yeah, they're ruining.
And then it just feels like everything's lost.
But they won't talk about, there's no policy that, when you say the employment rate is 3.2%, oh, that's because Trump did such a good job. Wait, when Trump was there, it was 12%. The unemployment rate. What are you talking? And they're just scared of everything. Look, anybody you can call up and say, hey, I need your credit card number because we have this thing with the DMV you need to handle, and you give it to them over the phone, probably shouldn't be voting.
Hold on a minute.
Probably hold on, I gotta get my. They're gonna come take your car if you don't give us your credit card number right now to handle this.
Oh dear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be voting then.
This episode brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com.
Yep.
Something I need right now. I need to talk. I had to go to this one because you're not supposed to tell people that they tell you to use these thought starters, but the one that they suggested is a time in your life when racing thoughts were keeping you up at night.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
so you have
right now is 80s, a bad
90s,
time.
and 2000s. Oh, in the 2010s.
Mostly this week. Waking you up early. Oh, I wake up early. Or preventing you from being able to enjoy your life.
It's not even waking up early. If you can't go to sleep, man, you start to go crazy. So this is something.
It builds if you don't.
You need to call these guys.
That's right.
You need to call. BetterHelp.
You have a different kind of racing thoughts, though.
Yes,
actual racing.
I'm actually writing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not racing.
Vroom,
Yeah,
vroom.
that kind.
That's what he's next to me thinking. My brother, pew pew, pew pew.
BetterHelp. We have, so there's some people in my family that need to talk to somebody, and we have.
Oh, you mean real? I thought you meant all of them in general.
Oh well,
throughout history of the Tituses.
But I remember that there was a time when I needed to talk to somebody, and BetterHelp, and you don't have to leave your house. You can, if you're having thoughts that are bugging you, and you should call these guys, and they're licensed therapists, and explain it to them.
It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do in the beginning is you fill out a brief questionnaire. They match you with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. It's all tailored to you and getting you what you need. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Titus today. You get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Titus.
Good company. And
this episode brought to you by BetterHelp.
I like that. I was looking. Get a break from your thoughts. Man, could I have used that in my life?
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple times in my life where if I just would stop, I need to stop thinking this. I need to, as Menendez did, by the way. Menendez's wife also was involved. So he met this woman, and it's funny, she had $70,000. I think at one point you got to go, well, I mean, some of that, you can't. The problem is they also indicted the 3 other guys that gave them in New Jersey, who gave them cars, who gave them gold bars, who gave them money, who gave them cash. And there's vacations too. How come Trump did something else? There's a whole list of nightmare that Trump let everybody do. One of them is corruption is fucking blatant. Like they want to go after Hunter Biden for he made $3 million from Burisma, but they don't want to go after Jared Kushner for the $2 billion he made.
This is what I'm tired of.
But we've got they're all corrupt. The Supreme Court, Alito just basically came out and they said, the Supreme Court needs an ethics list of an ethics standard.
And they said,
he said, nah.
No.
He's like, you see the word Supreme? Yeah, that means we're top guys. We ain't do shit. Supreme.
If they say nah, then we have nothing.
No, well, Congress has to get together and do it, but right now we're so divided. So guys, you can do in the election this time? Here's what you can do. And you want to make sure the Democrats totally blow it. Elect a lot of them. Put a lot of them in. They will go batshit crazy. And then 8 years from now, we'll get rid of all the shitty Republicans. There'll be new Republican Party because they hate the Democrats from going too far, and we'll do it. That's how it always works. It always, they're gonna go crazy.
His wife has been indicted too.
Yes, she was part of it.
She's wow.
More gold bars in her dress or something.
She's from New Jersey.
Your underwear drawer is not the stealthiest place to put stuff.
I don't.
Especially if you're committing serious like 6-figure corruption, and the FBI might be coming after you. By the way,
8 months after his trial on federal corruption charges ended with a deadlocked jury, Menendez had an important message for Egyptian leaders. He would sign off on nearly $100 million in arms sales. He delivered that message through a text to his wife, who was at that time just his girlfriend. He asked her in a text to notify an Egyptian-American businessman and friend of hers who would later give the couple the gold bars and other valuable items, according to this 3-count federal indictment.
Wait a minute. I thought that it was his money that he made from his salary that he'd been saving for years.
She then took the text, copied it, and forwarded it to her friend, who sent it to 2 Egyptian officials. One of the foreign officials is an asshole because he replied simply with a thumbs up emoji. Don't send me thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well just send me the middle
I just gave
finger.
you $100 million, Dick, and you're going to give me...
Even anybody, if you send thumbs up, you are a Nazi.
We're not friends.
Yeah, I don't want to text with you.
Nazis were big with the thumbs up.
So...
they had a couple of different things.
They were
thumbs. Yeah, like
started like that.
Yeah.
Then they were like, "Hi, Hitler." We had the people listening who are new don't know that we had a relative that said that Heil Hitler originally started out as "Hi, Hitler."
That's why you have to be careful, because originally it was a greeting, and people would say "Hi, Hitler," "Hi, Hitler" in the street. And then that's what turned into Heil Hitler, and that's why I'm not sure what the message is. Don't,
by the way,
say hi.
No, but how are you looking to try to figure out? Oh, I know why. Because Laura Ingraham from Fox did it at a speech, and they were saying she wasn't saying that. And remember, there was something.
It was told to me as a cautionary tale. I'm not sure what it is I shouldn't do so that I don't end up doing Heil Hitler.
You never know. With touching elbows, man, becomes a thing that kills 6 million Jews. You never know. You never know when you make a weird gesture and a bunch of genocide happens. You don't know. So watch the Heil Hitler thing.
Do you think that's what the message was that it wasn't ever really a bad thing?
Yeah, she was trying to say Hitler was misunderstood, and people around him who followed him with the Heil, it just started out as
I was told this story from a backdrop of a show on the History Channel, which I don't think was watched, nor did it exist. But it was over dinner, and so I was just like, file for future comedy special.
Can I say something about what's going on? There's a special running on CNN right now, and it's talking about these people that believe that John F. Kennedy is coming back. And I didn't see the whole thing. It's this. I think he's Scottish or an English reporter. A little guy. He's really great. He's one of those guys. He does what Jordan Klepper does, except he does it as a journalist. He's not trying to rip on people. He's just honestly asking what they think. And I forget his name, but if you can find it, it's a news thing on CNN. These people believe that John F. Kennedy is coming back from the... No, he's never died.
Yes.
And JFK, John F. Kennedy Jr. also is coming back. Mm-hmm. And I saw a clip of it, and it's the scariest... It made me laugh really hard and scared me to my fucking soul. They actually believe, and here's what they said, these 3 women they interview, they believe it. They said that they believe that... he goes, how is JFK coming back? And he goes, because he's in the bloodline of Christ.
What?
He's in the bloodline of Christ. So is JFK Jr. That's why he's going to come back to rule. Mm-hmm. Also, Trump is also in the bloodline of Christ. And I think, I think somebody was stepping out.
So they're really into DNA and science.
Yeah, unless you prove something. And then they're like, no, it doesn't.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
There's no wait a second to wait.
Are you going to start with JFK was a Democrat?
No.
Are you going to? Okay.
They already set a date for when he was coming back. And that came and went.
And they showed up at Dealey Plaza where he was killed.
And had a whole thing. Yeah. Because that's where he's going to just reanimate right there.
Hey, JFK, you're going back to save the world. Where do you want to go? You know what? How about where they put the bullet in me?
Yeah, I promise you Tupac isn't doing his first show on Vegas Boulevard. That's the place they don't want to go.
Very nice. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. This episode brought to you by Next Evo Naturals, something that we all need in light of this podcast and everything we talk about. Speaking of having trouble with sleep, this product, actually, I am out of my gummies from Next Evo and I need more.
And they work so well. So I'll be honest, that Ray has some trouble sleeping sometimes. And so we had the gummies and we were getting low and I stopped taking them because I wanted you to have them. Because
we're not home enough to order things. Yeah. So Next Evo Sleep.
I also had Pinot Noir.
Sleep Support Complex is the one. Those are the ones that I love. They combine premium CBD with melatonin so you can wake up refreshed and having had dreams.
That's what I was going to say.
About oatmeal in Technicolor.
But that's what I was thinking. I wake up better. I wake up like, when you say refreshed, I don't even know why.
Yeah.
But I wake up clear and ready to deal with the day. They're awesome.
My experience is that it's not like that really, really light sleep where everything wakes me up or I randomly wake up at 3:30 every morning for no reason when I take these. It's like a sustained deep sleep and I wake up refreshed, not tired, not...
Were you surprised when you look at the clock and go, oh my God, I got 8 whole hours.
I got solid sleep though, not like broken. Sometimes I wake up if I don't use these and feel like I ran a marathon while I was sleeping.
Right. Or a beaten.
Like today. They also have Next Evo Stress CBD Complex. It combines premium CBD with ashwagandha to get rid of stress and help you stay calm as we are heading into fall and then holidays and school and work and
stuff.
Trader Joe's pumpkin spice releases. It's a lot to get done during this season. So I like both of them. I use the sleep one the most, but I do like both of them. They've got a bunch of other products I've told you guys about before, the little tear off tiny pouches of CBD powder that's tasteless. And I dump them in the smoothie, especially for him. He has no idea. He's just
better.
It's great for stress.
Ken's calling you from that. Hey, put the powder in the smoothie. Double it.
Great for stress, feeling anxious, trouble sleeping. It's a better absorbing product. It has what it says it has in it, unlike a lot of the other one. And this one is also fast acting. So you can get more Z's and more Zen in your life. Upgrade to better natural solutions from Next Evo Naturals. Go to nextevo.com. Use promo code Titus. You get 25% off. That's 25% off at nextevo.com. Promo code Titus.
Good stuff, by the way. It does really make me sleep. I like it.
So this guy Menendez is saying that they are racist.
Of course.
Because he's Cuban. He's upset that they're going after his wife for long-standing friendships that she had before they ever got married. Those people that she was friends with would include that first guy, Hannah, who's a founder of a halal certification business that somehow won exclusive rights from the government in Cairo to vouch for all meat entering Egypt. Another guy, Fred Dabes, a prominent real estate developer and fundraiser. Yes, let me just, they're all somehow. Real estate developer and fundraiser for Menendez, who recently pleaded guilty to financial crimes and is awaiting sentencing. And Jose Uribe, who works in trucking and insurance and who...
Trucking and insurance. Say no more, New Jersey.
They've all been charged as well, including the guy that's already awaiting sentence.
So that guy's got to be, they've got to flip that guy. Someone got flipped because there's no way. This is what bothers me when people go, it's the deep state. There is no way they would know that this man had gold bars and money at all unless someone tipped them off. They had to do the investigation. And when you show up, you say, this guy's a criminal. And then you show up at his house and it's all this criminal shit. You have to be like, well, I think he's a criminal. The halal thing is really weird. But there's no deep state.
Do you remember the guy that killed his wife and then Googled every step of the way? Remember?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What to do right now when cops are at my front door.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I killed my wife. It was like really bad. So Menendez.
Well, you guys can look at the computer? Wait.
Yeah.
One of the web searches that's in the indictment is how much is 1 kilo of gold worth? He Googled that a day after a driver for Divest drove him and his wife home from the airport following their trip to Egypt in the fall of 2021.
Coincidence. Just coincidence. They came back from Egypt. Exact coincidence.
It's not the deep state. It's just Spectrum Internet.
Yeah.
It's just...
Wait, let me ask you something. So this halal thing. So basically the meat in Egypt has to be certified kosher, right? Is that what that means? Or halal or not kosher, but help me.
Sure.
But right, there's a process. It has to be
obviously they're just giving
a religious
people
thing. So
gigs.
so this guy, right? So this guy's wife got the contracts. So all the meat that goes to Egypt from America has to go through this guy's wife's company, right?
Halal meat. It's
I'm sorry for being so
an Arabic
white.
word that means permissible. According to Islamic law, in order to be certified halal, it must be slaughtered in a manner known as dabiba. That means cutting through, I couldn't remember the process. I knew it was fairly involved. Cutting through the jugular vein, carotid artery, and windpipe in order to drain all blood from the carcass.
This episode brought to you by...
In Islam, the consumption of blood is considered haram, which is sinful.
right.
I only know that because of my mom. So it's not the same as kosher, but I do like how you intermix.
Let's look up kosher.
Your meats.
Look kosher. Look at how do you make meat kosher? Just look it up.
Okay, maybe let's see what makes.
Let's see how wrong I was.
Yeah, but it's a method of preparing meat,
Yes.
right?
The animal must be slaughtered by a shoshay, a person trained and certified to butcher animals according to Jewish law. It's two different religions.
Okay, I got it.
The meat must be soaked to remove any traces of blood before cooking.
So it has to be drained.
Any utensils used to slaughter must be kosher and designated only for use with meat and meat products.
But they drain the blood again. Same thing, right?
No, it's different. In kosher, it has to be slaughtered by a shoshay. Shoshay? I'm sure I'll hear about it. It does just sound like a Jerry Lewis bit. Who is a person trained and certified to butcher animals according to Jewish law.
Right.
Then that meat has to be soaked to remove any traces of blood before cooking.
Yeah, but what's the process? You told me who does it, but what's the process? What's the process to make meat kosher?
Their meat.
Yeah, but they have to drain it first, though.
What is the atheist method?
Yeah, exactly. You go like
it's a USDA.
Where'd you get this? Butcher box.
Well, kosher also includes food combinations that are prohibited on a kosher diet. Only certain animal products.
How do they prepare the meat kosher?
I'm looking.
All right, then.
Whereas halal diet sets strict guidelines regarding how livestock is raised, slaughtered, and prepared. Whereas kosher is used to describe foods prepared in accordance with traditional Jewish dietary laws.
So they can just take any meat and then prepare it kosher.
No, some meats are forbidden. And food pairings are forbidden. On a kosher diet, foods are grouped into 3 categories.
I got
meat,
a lot of respect for anybody.
Fleischig, dairy products, milchig, and pareve, which refers to ingredients without meat or dairy.
Life is hard, man, and I got a lot of stuff to do. And if I had to add like preparing my food
under kosher guidelines, any foods classified as meat cannot be consumed at the same meal as foods classified as dairy. What about a cheeseburger? Is that not a thing?
I am a heathen. I'm guessing no.
I'm
guessing no for that. Yeah, you cannot have the cheese on the meat at the same time.
I thought you were doing Christopher Walken.
The Jews eat the meat and they have the cheese.
Where's Tommy?
You can't have a cheeseburger.
Halal diets do not have any rules or regulations regarding food combinations.
All right. Well,
it's a lot. There's a whole article.
This was a weird off-ramp that we can cut.
Yeah. Happy Yom Kippur, everyone.
Happy Yom Kippur. Well, it's good to know about that, though. I hate when sometimes I say things just talking on the podcast and I hear myself and I go, I know I'm wrong. and I know I'm dumb.
Speaking of doing good things for your body, this episode brought to you by AG1.
Yes.
AG1.
Thank you for putting it in the smoothie. You say it adds a little bit of taste, but it does add a little bit of taste, a little bit of tropical taste.
Boom,
loving
with the
it.
Bang and the shuttle.
Boom, it's on the thing.
Been making a mint cacao smoothie with AG1 in it.
I live at aerobics, pretty much. That's how good she is.
I use cacao nibs and chocolate protein powder and banana. And I used to use spinach, but now I'm using scoops of AG1.
Right.
And basically, with AG1, you can take ownership of your own health with a very simple process. You take 1 scoop of AG1, you put it in a shaker bottle with a tiny bit of water. I use a little dropper of the vitamin D, shake it up, done for the day. Or you can put it in your smoothie like Rachel does and get it all done all at once. The thing I love about this is it's got over 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, and probiotics. So all those pills that you were taking with all your vitamins and your probiotics in the fridge and everything, this takes the place of all of that.
What I love is it was developed by a guy, and I say this every time, developed by a guy who had gut problems, and he didn't care. He wasn't trying to make $1 billion. He was just trying to come up with a supplement that would actually stop his stomach from hurting. And I've noticed since you've since you and I have been doing AG1, like you don't complain as much at all about your stomach.
If you want to take ownership of your health, give AG1 a try. Get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. Go check it out. This is a great product.
Do you guys think that we're going to, I mean, they keep saying that Trump could win, and I find it impossible to believe. The last time I believed he could.
Well, fingers crossed that these polls are just, it is bullshit, right? And it doesn't sway anybody, hopefully, like you said.
Well, we have some friends
people out of being complacent.
Here's the weird part. I thought about this. We had some friends with dinner with, great friends. We love them to death. And at dinner, they go, what do you think? He's kind of old. And I thought, you're listening to the news.
About Biden.
Biden's still stretching out, riding bikes. He's doing what he's doing. He's not an old man. I mean, he's old man age-wise, but when it comes to how he speaks and stuff, I watch him. Fox will cut together all the, he has had a stutter his whole life, so Fox will cut together those, but they don't cut together the Trump fuck-ups. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I don't get that.
You have to go to the Daily Show.
Because he's got crazy stuff that he said.
Yeah, he's saying insane
shit. And now,
a
lot more.
Yeah.
But end of the day, who cares? So what does that mean?
What do you mean?
He's old now. He got in office. He was old.
Oh, he's old.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he kind of made a good point.
They're saying that people think he's in cognitive decline. And
I've just watched him do a speech.
Our friends said they could not in good conscience vote for him again because, and I thought, do you realize, actually I said a vote for a third party is a vote for Trump. Do you think Trump is cognitively there? Oh, no, God, no. We'd never vote for Trump. And I'm like, well, you are if you don't vote for Biden again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And we are still seriously in a dangerous place in this country. If you think that if Trump gets elected again, if you think he's going to be better, he's going to be way worse. He's already saying that General Milley, his general, needed to die for what he had said about him. He said he's going to shut down NBC and CNN. He said that when he becomes president, he goes fake news. He goes, they will not be allowed to tell their lies anymore. He's basically laying out the like dictator 101, and people are like, I like him. They interviewed.
He wants to certify all the meat that goes into Egypt too. I mean, what the fuck?
He wants that contract.
I mean, Jesus.
I'm just saying they want.
Biden is out today on the UAW picket lines with his little Walter megaphone.
Right. So okay, yeah, he's in decline, but. Well, he just passed something like a week ago.
Yeah,
right?
No, he's not in decline.
He's got good people around him, even if he's just like, where do I walk?
But Reagan was way worse, and the Republicans back. Reagan was like Nancy would pull him away from the mic. Nancy would be like, "Come here." Yeah, well.
I don't think we have to even discuss any of this. I think the bottom line is it's gonna come down to 2 choices. And there is no third choice. Sorry. We wish there were, but there's not in this country. And now is not the time to dick around with that.
No, it's not.
Right now, when our democracy is in peril.
No, and the guy's going to trial, and he's got people that are crazy enough. They said death threats have gone up for all these indictments, for all the court clerks, for anybody. The judges ruled yesterday that they can't even, sketch artists can't even sketch the jury. They can't even sketch the people as a likeness because they don't want anybody to kill those people. That's how fucking weird it is in America right now.
Before we go, I just want to say, amazingly enough, SCOTUS is now telling Alabama it meant what it said the first time it made that order about the redrawing of the districts.
Even Kavanaugh?
So when the people appealed, so they didn't do it. The leaders didn't do it because what it would mean under the SCOTUS ruling is that there would be the state's 27% black. That would make the state would be forced to adopt a map with 2 black majority districts among the 7 congressional seats. So they didn't do it. They were ordered by the Supreme Court to do it. But this is the era of Trump Republicans where they just don't. Jim Jordan doesn't show up for a subpoena. It's been 500 days.
It is. They actually, the Supreme Court said, hey, this is the conservative Supreme Court. Guys, you guys are really fucking black people over. Seriously. Like to the point where we can't even hide this time. So you have to redraw this district so it's a majority black district. And Alabama went, fuck it, and didn't do it. They just
Kavanaugh actually voted against them, although he put some caveats in there, so they quoted him 10 times in their latest appeal. But the Supreme Court has said they meant what they said. So let's see what happens now, because they're violating a Supreme Court ruling. And what do we do?
I just thought we're supposed to have a country that you're supposed to do it and people like the rules, and Trump made it so none of us fucking have to follow the rules anymore, including Democrats like Menendez who are like, yeah, I'm not doing it. Fuck it. Yeah.
So everyone would just be like, nah, I don't have to listen to this. No, subpoena, fuck you. Guys, Supreme Court, fuck you.
They're watching Jim Jordan get away with it.
And Trump. We're watching Trump get away with everything.
Yeah, and then they're watching Jim Jordan scream about people not complying with subpoenas. Even though Swalwell is awesome, how he has that clock that sits in front of him on his desk, facing out with daytime, hours, minutes.
Look up the thing. Eric Swalwell just goes, Jim Jordan's going, you want to come to here and talk to this Congress? And Swalwell just, he's so cool the way he did it. He goes, Are you serious? He's got a clock, a digital clock with 481 days on it that Jim Jordan has not shown up. It's a clock in front of him.
With hours and minutes, and it's running down.
He's like, this is how many days this man got, and he won't show up. Refuses to show up for a congressional subpoena. And he just keeps going, are you serious? Are you even bringing it? Like what? And it was so great to watch a guy just kind of come apart a little bit. He did it so well. I like Eric Swalwell. I hope he does. I hope he sticks around for a while. Guys, do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com if you want to come see any of our shows. We're having fun. We're doing meet and greets after it, and we'll be going through this year. I'm going to film this special, I think, in January.
Friday night, the Texas Theater in Dallas, Texas, and then Saturday, Zilka Hall at the Hobby Center for Performing Arts in Houston.
Yep.
That'll be your birthday show, the night. The eve of your birthday.
Oh, yeah. Getting up, yeah.
He's in cognitive decline.
I'm definitely in cognitive decline. Definitely.
But still killing it. See?
You gotta let him do his fun fact.
And now, it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts. I just want to hit the note. Fun Facts.
Wait, where'd you
go? No.
We put a bend in that one.
It's Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts. Okay. She said, okay, got approval.
You guys were in Scotland?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, we were.
Do you know what Scotland's national animal is?
It is
the liger.
The Loch Ness.
No, it's not the Loch Ness. It's not a. That's a lake. It's a lake. Monster. You have to add monster to it.
Well, that's
what's the Scotch animal?
It is about. What's that guy? What is he?
It's the wild boar.
It's some sort of sea creature.
No.
Who lives 20,000 leagues under the sea.
It's another movie. You're just listing movies with stuff in it now. You're just listing movies with stuff in it.
Who goes around the world in a day.
In a balloon.
Oh my God. Driving chitty chitty bang bang.
To see Rocky Mountains.
What is it?
You might as well be correct. It is a mythological beast. It is the unicorn.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I like that Scotland was just like, you know what?
Drunk.
Yeah, I know what we're going to do. Everybody got they got their state flower or their state thing. We're going to have the fucking unicorn.
It doesn't even
exist. I know, that's why it's funny. Drink.
In Celtic mythology, the fictional creature is connected with both chivalry and dominance, as well as purity and innocence.
That's like Ray.
It's a unicorn.
Chivalry
and very
dominance white. And very white. Mm-hmm. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, we're going to be on the road. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. Carrying Monsters. I will let the person who's the most critical of me at times give the review of the show.
I'm actually the nicest person in his life, but there's not much competition.
Nils Lofgren is the most critical.
If I'm chunking something, doing something hacky or something bad, you'll call me on it. You'll be like, so here's what she does. So if I do a kind of a cheesy joke, like it'll end up in the set because I riffed it one night and I'll keep putting it in. She'll go, do you really think you should do that? I think it's beneath you. You'll say something like that to me.
There's still one that you haven't dropped that I've...
In this show?
Yeah, that I've brought up a few times. Because boy, does he do it to me.
That hurts.
He'll just flat out say, that's hacky. Don't do that again. And I'm like, But it got such a big
Which
laugh.
one am I doing?
I'm not going to say.
That's good teamwork. It's good partners.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
But come see the show, guys.
There is no happy.
All right, let me
team.
give you. I was fishing for a compliment
because I'm so good.
Shut up.
Shut up. I say it on stage when I bring you up. You at your absolute best, which is saying something because some of those specials are insane. I know you just heard some.
No, I know. I was raised by my father. No, I picked the three that you meant.
But I have, they're all, I've loved all of them. There's not one special that I don't like, but I have some that are dear to my heart for different reasons. Mm-hmm. Fifth Annual Into the World Tour was my first love. And my mom's too. My mom's second was Neverlution. She loved the kid at the DMV and how you kept going back to it. This one, this is you, I think, at your absolute best. Every line, every time, if you guys come see the show, pay attention to this. Every sentence he says has a joke. Some of us, including me, say a few sentences and then get to the joke, which means we need to write more. But
kid, I've been doing this 40 years this time. Kid, I should be. And can I say about you, not just to brag, so we're doing these gigs, man. And, Ray deals with the road different than I do it. I've been doing it since I was 19. I grind it out. Princess doesn't grind it out. And she does do it, but we get to Lexington, Kentucky. And first show, we added a show because we sold out the 7 o'clock show. We added a 4:30 show because we wanted people to have their breakfast burritos during the show. And it was a smaller crowd. It wasn't sold out. And I stood in the back of the room and watched. Because I wanted to watch. Because if it's going to be a small.
You only sit in the room when it might be painful for me. I always hear you in the back like, oh, of course.
And I just saw this professional comedian get up and organize this audience. Just tuned them, and then kept doing it. And then they went nuts at the end. And then I had a perfect setup. The second show, she blew the fucking roof off. So here's how good it was. So when you have to follow somebody, I get on stage and for the first 3 minutes, they were like, but I hadn't got to your level yet. And it took me like 3 minutes to get them going. That's
those
how good
people, man, they let me surf.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll have this audience where it's symbiotic and your timing is one, and as soon as they start to die down, I hit the other joke and it just felt like flying. Yeah,
it was awesome. To the point where you stop the show and she goes, I want you guys to know this is the most fun I've had on stage in 6 months. And I was like, oh.
They were too.
You liked it.
You're miserable most of the time.
So guys, come see the show. I guarantee it's a kick-ass show, man. And lady said something to me when we were when we were at the Baumhart Theater in Louisville. She said, Louisville. She said, you know what's great about it? It's not disgusting.
Because everybody's so dirty.
I go, what do you mean? She goes, it's great storytelling. It's not disgusting. Like it's hard. It's dark, but it's really funny. So it was good. So come see the show, guys. You want to get any merch or anything, go to ChristopherTitus.com. Keep subscribing to the podcast. We love having you guys on and we love doing it. Like Ray doesn't, but me and the Highlander love doing it. See you guys later. For myself, the lovely Bomb Show right in the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
That could be the one.